Sean Diddy Combs faces another lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault. The suit also names his label Bad Boy Records and Arista Records as defendants. The plaintiff, April Lampros, alleges that Diddy sexually abused her multiple times between 1995 and the early 2000s. Starting while she was a fashion student. This is the second sexual assault lawsuit filed against Diddy just this week. It comes days after Diddy apologized on social media after that explosive video was released that appeared to show him violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Let's bring back trial attorney and legal analyst Misty Marris. Misty, one of the things we saw when we saw that video, we were all taken aback and we thought to ourselves, this lended credibility to the claims that Cassie made. But this latest lawsuit claims that Diddy assaulted a fashion student multiple times in the late 90s. It's been decades. Is that going to pose a challenge to prove and prosecute in court?
Well, Nick, certainly the floodgates are open against Diddy. And oftentimes when you do see something like Cassie's lawsuit, which he categorically denied, and then this video comes out and suddenly he's issuing an apology when his feet are held to the fire and it becomes very clear that at least some of the allegations in her lawsuit were true, that can incentivize others who were victimized to come forward. Oftentimes, there is a perception that it's very, very difficult to go up against somebody with so much power. So this lawsuit was brought under the New York City Gender Motivated Violence Act, which actually suspends the statute of limitations and allows cases that would normally be time barred to come forward. And that statute is actually in play until February of 2025. But to your point, it is difficult to prove these cases. The burden is still on the plaintiff to prove the case by a preponderance of the evidence. And so when these cases are aged, it can be very difficult because witnesses may no longer be around. They might not have memory. There might not be documentary evidence. Evidence might be very, very difficult to come by to support the allegations. That being said, it is a civil case, so the standard of proof is less than what you see in a criminal matter.
And Misty, this suit is just one of two in the same week. What factors may have led to those two accusers to come forward with these charges now?
I think what you're seeing is an opening of this perception that it's very difficult to bring these cases against somebody who's powerful. But when you see others come forward, tell their story, you see these claims being brought, you see that video, there is an opening for those who have been victimized to actually come forward and also file these complaints. And that's what this statute allows for. One of the reasons that these statutes exist, first there was the New York State statute, which actually Cassie brought her claim under the Adult Survivor Act, and now this New York City statute. It's looking at that idea that it's very, very difficult for victims of sexual abuse to come forward, and oftentimes they don't for many, many years. So actually that whole idea of these cases are very old, but there's reasons why people don't come forward. And that's actually built into the fabric of the statute.
Misty, so many questions, but I do want to talk to you about, we remember the raid. We saw that video of the homes, of Diddy's two different homes, and we know that they were looking for something, collecting evidence. This latest suit includes allegations that Diddy secretly recorded himself having sex with the victim and that he showed it to other people, and that she filed this suit partly because, wait a minute, I'm hearing from other people I was recorded. Wait a minute. How is that going to be a factor into this case, Misty?
So as for this particular case, that would be a criminal act to actually disseminate a video that was recorded without consent would be a crime. However, it's likely that that would be barred by the statute of limitations with respect to her individual claim. That being said, it plays into a bigger idea of a pattern of conduct. And we've seen this in all of the lawsuits. There are allegations specifically in Little Rod's lawsuit, which talks about allegations that are more contemporaneous, 2023 and 2024. It talks about a lot of this being on video. So the question is, in those raids, were some of those videos actually retrieved by the federal government? So It remains to be seen, but this all plays in together. No one is going to be looking at this case in a vacuum. It's all going to play into this larger federal inquiry, and these videotapes are going to be central to that.
And Misty, I have reason to believe we're only seeing a tip of the iceberg. Misty Marris, thank you so much. We'll talk with you more a little bit later.